This video is for the knowledge organizer on adding and subtracting numbers written in standard form. What I'd like you to do is read the first page of your knowledge organizer, watch this video and work through the examples from that, try the questions from the second page of your knowledge organizer and complete any maths watch work set by your class teacher. There are two methods involved in, or two different ways in which we can add and subtract numbers written in standard form. The first method is you just write out the numbers ordinarily and then you turn them back into standard form at the end. So you write them out ordinarily. In the second step you add or you subtract, and in your third step you turn back to standard form. Okay, and we're going to do that in those three steps here. So if we have a look here, we've got 3.2 times 10 to the power of 7. So 3.2 times 10 to the power of 7 would be 32 million, because you've got to times it by 10 once to get rid of your decimal there, and then you would have times it by 10 again 6 times. For this one here, you're going to have 190 million, because you times it by 10 once to get rid of your decimal, and then you've got to times it by 7 again. And then you're going to add those together. So I'm going to write that out as 190 million plus 32 million. And that gives us 222 there, and then we just fill in our zeros, and there we go. That's our first step. All I have to do after that is I have to write that back into standard form. So it becomes 2.22 times 10 to the power of 8, and that's dead straightforward. That's all we have to do for that. If we have a takeaway, for example, we do exactly the same 3 steps. So I'd write that out as a decimal, which would be 0.00019, and then I would write this out as a decimal, which would be 0.0000034. I was just checking I had the right number of decimal places there. And then I do the takeaway, and it's up to you how you would do the takeaway. I personally would just write out my numbers out like this. I would put 2 zeros on the end because I know I'm going to have 2 more decimal places, and I would have 3, 4, and then I would work it out as I would normally do. I would borrow from that. That gives me 6, and then I'm going to have a 6, 8, 1, and then I'm going to have my decimals from there. And then I would write that back out in standard form as 1.866 times 10 to the power of minus 4. Now, you can do it that way. That method will get you the answer every single time. It takes a little bit longer than the other method to do. In our other method, what we will do is we will add or subtract numbers in standard form, and we'll make the powers of 10 the same. So if we have a look at this problem here, okay, what we want to do is we want to make the powers of 10 the same. So what we do is we take our 2.2 times by 10 to the power of 3, and we want to make it so that it's got the same power as this number here, okay? So what we do is we're going to times that by 10, and we're going to divide that by 10. Notice you're taking this out of standard form notation, because your first number when you do that is no longer between 1 and 10. And that's okay to do for this step here, okay? So what you do is you turn it into that. You then get 3.7 times by 10 to the power of 4, add 0.22 times 10 to the power of 4. And what you do is you add together your first 2 numbers when you have that, okay? And what will happen is you get 3.92 when you do that, and you leave the powers the same. If you notice, whenever you're adding and subtracting, if you have issues or you're wondering with the powers, the power is nearly always the bigger power there. So if we have a look, our bigger power was -4 in our answer there had -4. Our bigger power here was 8, and our answer here had 8. And we could use those methods to solve these as well. So it's up to you which method you prefer. Method 1, generally, if you find it difficult, is easier to do and easier to pick up the marks. If you feel really confident, method 2 is quicker. Okay? Can you complete the questions on page 2 of your knowledge organizer using these methods, whichever one you prefer, and any Maths Watch work set by your class teacher? Thank you.